Alabama State. Just kind of talk about getting that big midweek win because you know they brought their best against you.
Yeah, so first, we've been trying to keep up with Rob Vaughn and the boys at baseball that have done incredible things midweek. Okay, and that's one of the keys to making NCAA play is to do your job in a midweek game. And the only time we stubbed our toe was against Florida State, who right now is number 3 in the RPI. Great game. So we went down to Montgomery, got lucky with the weather, and played a really complete game. We had 3 pitchers throw. We had 10 hits. A lot of different people got to play, which is cool down the stretch because I want somebody having another at-bat. Lex Papillo pinch hit a home run off the foul pole. Kendall Clark had a big double. Monty Hubbard, Kennedy Marceau, both started, hit 4 and 5 in the lineup. Monty had the first RBIs of the game. It was a 2-run triple opposite field. And one of the things, that we faced was a little bit slower pitching. And, we're going to see all kinds of pitching in the postseason. So it was good for us to see it. And for a right-handed hitter to go opposite field, basically down the right field line for a triple, that says a lot about her hitting.
You return home this weekend to host Missouri, but before we talk about Missouri, I want to jump back one home series to Oklahoma. Great crowd. You got some great performances from Caitlin Riley. Just kind of talk about her. We just talked to her a little bit ago. What did you see from her? SEC Co-Pitcher of the Week was phenomenal. Did she kind of set the tone for the rest of the season?
Christopher, I would put her up with some of the best kids we've ever had in this program. Caitlin Riley is what it's all about. One time in the fall, she was at third base. We were scrimmaging, and she had got to third base, and she looks right at me, and she goes, "How do I squeeze 4 years into 10 months?" She's a transfer as a senior. She's got a 4.0. Great family. Off the field, she's awesome. On the field, she's great. She's just been a joy to be around. And I kind of looked at her, I'm like, you know what, we're going to do our best. And that's kind of the negative part of senior transfers because we only get them for 10 months. And it's almost like, at JUCO, you either have them for 1 or 2 years. Now it's a kid that's a senior that's played Division I softball for 3 years, and then, we get to have them here. So she's been a pleasure to coach. She has come around pitching. Lance and her have worked so hard the last month and a half. Against Oklahoma, she could have beat anybody in the country that night. She had the confidence, she had the swag, she was a beast out there, and she showed it to everybody. Complete game, had a lot of grit, a lot of resiliency. There was a lot of situations that came up. She didn't flinch, and one of the coolest part is her teammate had her back, and Audrey Vandegrift hit that walk-off. So it was just a great night for her, for our program, the whole thing.
On the opposite end of her being a senior, I was going to ask you about Audrey next. Came up with that big home run against Oklahoma to win the game. She's still up there in the nation's best in stolen bases, right up there in the team batting average. Just kind of talk about her. She's almost not a freshman anymore, really, at this point of the season. So how have you seen her just progress throughout the season?
I think the biggest thing about Audrey, and if you look up our stats and you talk to Nathan, our SID, one of the cool things is every home run that she's hit has been against a top 10 team. Not the bottom 90. A top 10 team. She's hitting better against Power 4 teams than non-Power 4, which also says she shows up in the big moments, and she's not afraid of the big moment. The coolest thing, too, is she doesn't get too high, she doesn't get too low. And I think that comes from her dad, who's a very successful high school football coach, her brother, her sister, and her mom. Just even-keeled, no roller coaster ride of emotions. She's very competitive, very, very competitive. But she's even-keeled. And as a baseball hitter or a softball hitter, you have to have that. If you ride the roller coaster of emotions, you're not going to hit 400.
You're talking about trying to be like baseball in the midweek games. You're going to be like baseball this weekend as you both take on Missouri here at home. Just kind of talk about the Tigers. They kind of stumbled a little bit in SEC play, but they're still a scrappy ball club.
Oh, yeah. The only thing you have to say to my team is they beat OU and they beat Texas A&M. They run-ruled A&M. So that's really all I have to say. And the other thing is they have 2 hitters in the lineup that I think have 17 and 12 home runs. 17 is a lot. That's probably one of the highest totals we faced all year. So we have to keep them in the park. We cannot give up 22, 23, 24 outs in a game. We have to keep them to 21 outs, which means we have to play really good defense. We can't get any freebies. No wild pitch, no pass ball, and no walks. So we have to pitch smart, play really, really, really good team defense. And then like Tuesday night, we got to come up with a clutch hit. And, we have a lot to play for. But the other side of that is Mizzou has a lot to play for too, because they're fighting for their postseason lives. And we're kind of in the way.
And lastly, we talk about this all the time, the great crowd for the Oklahoma series. Just kind of talk about them coming out this weekend. How big of an impact can they have? How much do you need them to come out and pack out roads?
I think one of the things that's going to look really, really good this weekend is our crowds. So we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of women's athletics in Alabama. We're going to have a huge group of former student athletes in every female sport here Saturday night. It's our alumni weekend to coincide with that event. And then it's the last weekend at home. So we're hoping that the weather cooperates. And if you haven't got a ticket, there are some available. You can walk up and get them at the gate. But we would absolutely love 4,400 at every game.